Hey, y'all, hey! Welcome to the PowerWomen podcast. This is the show where powerful women share their journeys, discuss how to solve powerful issues, and the power men who help us rise. I'm your host, Power Mom, Claire Brown. Today's PowerWomen podcast is proudly sponsored by Cupid's Lingerie, Arkansas's premier lingerie and gift store. Love is in the air, y'all. Cupid's has everything you need, lingerie and much more. They have 6 central Arkansas locations, and you can shop online. Visit shopcupids.com and make your next date night the best one yet. Cupids, enjoy. Hey, y'all, hey! So I'm so excited about this episode. I cannot begin to explain my excitement because we're here with whom I refer to as Little Rock Team 6. And we're going to dive into how this podcast was formed, how the PowerWomen platform was formed, everything else. And we are only as good as those we surround ourselves with. And these are the women who helped me, who have built this platform, who have supported me. And my gratitude for them is beyond imagination. They'll never understand it. And I just wanted to be able to take this time to allow you to see kind of behind the scenes of who we are, how we cut up, and give them the opportunity to tell all stories on me. And so we're going to take a minute to introduce ourselves. So, hey. Obviously, and we're also drinking, so we don't take responsibility for anything we say or do. And so tell us who you are, what you do, and all the things, and I don't know. Yeah.
Want me to go first?
You go.
Okay.
Who am I looking at?
No,
I'm just looking at you.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Anna Dickinson, and I am the owner and creator of Perception by Anna Dickinson, a wedding planning company. And I live here in Little Rock with my husband and 2 children and 3 dogs.
Mm-hmm. Frenchies.
Frenchies,
I'm
that's
Ashley
right.
Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have. All right, I got some kids, 2 of them. And
Do you claim them? Do you claim them?
Yeah.
I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
She's claiming them today.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Some days.
1 husband, though.
Currently.
Just
That's
one.
Just one.
more than enough.
Yeah.
That really is all I have. I know a cat and a dog.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You do a ton of volunteer work.
I'm Taylor Durbin Leith, and I'm a proud mom of 2 beautiful girls, and I have 2 dogs and a handsome boyfriend, and I do lots of creative things out of my home, and I'm just kind of the jack of all trades.
I'm Becca. Becca, by the way. Becca Sims, 3 boys currently. One could die at any minute.
Stop. We don't talk like that.
Just
You are
saying.
terrible.
Just saying. It happened.
Because
of
no,
the
ma'am.
adventures? Is that what we're talking about? Well, today's Carter's birthday, by the way.
Oh.
So we've officially entered the teen years. So it may be the hormones, me trying to not kill him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That. But anyway, so I'm down to, I've got 4 cats, 2 dogs, 1 chinchilla. At any given moment, I could get some, just this spring, I've already had 3 possums, 1 squirrel, which I did call Amy.
Amy told me you had a squirrel.
And it bit me and latched on, wouldn't let go. I literally passed out. I fainted in the car.
Stop.
Woke up and was like, oh God, and the squirrel's in the car.
Do you think maybe I should stop doing this?
It briefly crossed my mind. But anyway, I call your sister. She's my brother.
I've just fainted in the car.
What? Well, let me tell you what just
The
happened.
thing is that you're not original to Arkansas.
Facts.
That squirrel was.
That squirrel was Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes so much more sense.
But when I play grown up, I'm supposed to be a safety engineer. CSP.
That's the
Anyhow,
best.
yeah. Safety engineer that Yeah.
You get to wear a hard hat.
I get to wear a hard hat.
I bet you look
Still
cute
totally
in
Wear
it.
a hard hat with
I
those
do.
boys. With
Do you
all
have a
those
pink one?
boys.
You know, those are reserved for people who forget their PPE as like an embarrassment.
Oh.
Oh,
It is.
I don't like that.
I know. It's like you
That
do.
seems a little sexist,
tattooed?
actually.
It is.
Pink?
It is. But to keep it fun, I did do a job site visit one day and didn't really plan it through that well. I wore a skirt. Granted, it was a long skirt, but I'm climbing down the ladder with the guy that was showing me around below me, and he's like, I'll help you. I'll help you. And I'm like, all right, how's your day going? Going up from here, isn't it? Sorry.
Okay, and
I am Jill Rogers Barham, and I'm an attorney in the public sector, and I have a son and a daughter, and live
Yeah.
here in Little Rock.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. So I'm going to let y'all tell this story because I've told it so many times. And you all know that we all came together and started the PowerWomen platform. And so how do you remember it starting? How do you remember those first conversations? What was that like? Stop. You get it. Seriously, though.
I remember very specifically you telling me that I thought it was like a book club or something, and I just didn't want to be rude and say no. I was like, okay. And you said it's just a group of like-minded friends, and I thought, well, if it's me, there can't be that many people involved.
Right.
And then it grew so fast. I was so confused about what was happening.
Yeah.
And then it grew, and I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This is way better than it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have, at first I thought this is
Yeah.
going to be a slippery slope.
Yeah. Right? It can be, and it is sometimes.
Well, and if you remember, it started out as moms.
Yep.
Power moms.
That's right.
And as more and more people got involved on the Facebook group, you got us to get at trios, actually.
One of many trios lunches.
Right? And said, okay,
I
I think
remember
we
that
need
day.
to branch out. I
I forgot about that day, but I remember now.
Yeah, we need to include all women.
So the backstory of all this is that, and some of you were present, some of you weren't, but I got my heart broken when I went to Europe with a man.
I'm sorry, which time was that
Right? You
I remember we came back
Down for it.
and we all met and we went to
Board and Brush.
Board and Brush.
Yeah, we all showed up with our own bottle of wine. We shut them down.
I was there. I remember.
remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember
Yeah,
going.
you were
I
there.
don't remember leaving.
I know. There's that. Yeah, and because I said I'm going to just put us in a private Facebook group. Nobody wants a group text, and y'all can check it. You cannot, but we're having a mom night out because I need this. And then it just went nuts after that.
I remember.
By the time we went to Petite and Keat,
Yeah,
there were like 100 people there.
yeah,
There were.
yeah.
That
yes.
was pretty soon. That was pretty early on.
It was.
And we went salsa dancing.
We did.
I think
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Yeah, but y'all all told all your friends and shared it and everything else. And I truly attribute your connectivities to the group growing. I don't share in that. I really don't. And it did. It just took off. We got closed out of Facebook 3 times. They shut us down.
You know why?
I don't think I knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they viewed it as spam.
Because it was growing so quickly.
So
Is that-
quickly.
Oh.
Yeah, and we still, to this day, some days we'll have over 100 requests for membership.
And what's the group up to now?
15,000. Yeah. So
So is there a
amazing
separate
considering the
one
number
for
already.
Northwest Arkansas?
yes, so we franchised last year, and there's now Northwest Arkansas PowerWomen as well. Yep. Yeah. And so explain to me, what has this platform done for you? What has it done for your businesses, your families? What have you also seen it do for other women?
Oh, me.
Okay.
Okay, so when this group first started, I did not own my company. I formerly owned another company called White Goat in the Heights, and it was interior design, retail, and I sold it. And it was kind of at a low point in my life because I was trying to figure out what my next move was, and I was under a no-compete. So Claire started this group And through this group, it just really empowered me to start my business and find my truth and pull myself out of the dark place that I was in. So I think that's a good answer for your question.
I remember that discussion.
Yeah.
Discussing what you wanted to do next.
Yeah.
And you're so multi-talented.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sweet.
It would have been a waste to not have you sharing your talent.
Thank you. Well, I was in a deep, dark place because I was not creating. I wasn't doing anything, and I have to create. And I remember talking to all of y'all about that, and she had just started this group, and I remember getting the phone call, okay, Anna, I'm starting this group, and you're going to help me be the admin, and here we are.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a great place for people to connect, and there's always an outlet for somebody, whether it's connecting with their issue with their children or needing to connect, job-wise or, creatively or, needing a therapist or needing just any kind of outlet. You can put it out there, whether it's yourself or privately, there is a way to connect.
Yeah.
And there's somebody out there to connect with.
Right.
And feeling like a part of a group.
You're going to have support. You're going to have connectivity. You're going to be leveraged. You're going to be celebrated. You're going to have every resource you ever needed.
The resources are key.
Which I think, like Anna said, we've all heard stories of people like this sharing a story similar to Anna's, and I think even the ones we don't hear from that are just scrolling and see on there, oh, she did this, she did that. It gives them the confidence
And
to try to do
inspiration.
it, and the inspiration, and then just kind of a ready-made support, foothold, place to get started. For women.
Yeah.
And I think some of your rules, too, make people know they're going to be safe. So your no garbage policy makes people feel comfortable being a little vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is huge.
Oh, and you call them out on it too.
Oh, yeah. I don't have a problem with accountability.
Well, they will be deleted.
You will, and your mama. I do not care. I do not care. I do not shy away from any fierce conversation.
No judgment.
Or any of that. No judgment. You will not judge in that space. We're going to come back in just a minute after a quick word from Cupid's. And then we're going to talk a little bit more in line with a lot of Cupid's stuff. Today's Power Women podcast is proudly sponsored by Cupid's Lingerie, Arkansas's premier lingerie and gift store. Love is in the air, y'all. Cupid's has everything you need. Lingerie, and much more. They have 6 central Arkansas locations, and you can shop online. Visit shopcupids.com and make your next date night the best one yet. Cupid's. Enjoy. So we're back. And speaking of Cupid's, I had never been to a sex store until Rebecca. Stop it. Rebecca took me.
You name her in the book.
I don't name her in the book, but I'm naming her.
No, she
now.
protects the guilty. Page 16.
Yeah.
Yes, but I feel like
So she does have pictures.
Okay, funny story. So she comes in to the store. And of course, you go in a store and there's an array of selection.
She says, of course, like we know this. I did not know this. I had never been.
She sees the selection of all the toys. Oh. There may be some truth to that. Anywho, so she's looking at everything. She goes, oh, well, what is this one? And what is that one? And how are they different? And so she is asking the lady behind the counter, well, can we take it out of the box? Can I feel it? Can I sample it? Like, no. Literally, she is holding, there's one clitoral vibrator, the one that has the hole in the suction, and she's literally holding it on her nose to feel it. And I'm like, oh.
On her nose.
The lady says.
how did you not walk out?
Because Becca, my face is turning red just listening to this story.
What did you leave with on that first trip?
She got a few things.
She had a gold.
She got a few things.
A nice bag.
Gold case? I don't know about the gold case, Taylor.
If we did know when that was, I would find it easier.
Or did you put it back in the box?
Huh?
The thing that you put on your snout, did you leave with
The
it?
snout.
Or did you put it back in the box?
I did not buy that.
That, in case you're wondering, was the satisfier. Satisfier.
That's an interesting memory you have there, Becca.
I know.
That's good. That's impressive.
It's select.
That's impressive.
Becca buys these things a lot. Like I said, she was in there and she was like,
Kinky Karen over here.
Becca was raised by the Fockers,
Basically, yes. My mom and dad are real healthy in that area.
I didn't know that. That's fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
And if I have questions about anything like that, I call Becca.
Yeah.
It's good. So now you know.
The Dr. Ruth of the group?
Yes. She's more than
When I
Dr.
got
Ruth.
married, my mom, her sisters were all like, oh, here's a book. Oh, try this. Oh, like those were my wedding gifts. They're Fockers. Mom and Daddy Focker. Craziest.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That explains a lot. That explains a lot. That's fabulous.
One of the first times
better
that my
than the
husband came
opposite.
to eat dinner at my house, we're sitting around the dinner table.
Did they gift him also?
Oh, no. We're eating, and all of a sudden you hear this bzzz.
No.
Okay, we kind of brush it off. Daddy Don gets up
Daddy
and
Don.
he steps away, comes back, and he's sorry, that's your mama's drawer. And I'm like, what? Oh my God. And Justin, bless his heart, he was mortified. But no, so the toy's going off in mom's drawer. And they have to step away, and it's just like no big thing. Sorry,
She's going to kill you for saying
it on a
all
timer?
this.
No, I get, well,
On a timer.
no, it's just,
And the alarm went
You're
off.
interrupting things.
right, it's just going off. But, and I remember honestly what it looked like because
Wait, y'all all went to the drawer
no,
together?
I just remember
Field trip.
I was as an adult, it was like no secret. If I needed something, I'd go look and oh yeah,
wanna try it on
it's
your
mom's toy. No big deal.
Justin, put it on your nose.
Personal
massager. That was really good.
They
Well,
say
that's
that's
what Sharper
like
Image
this.
calls.
Yeah. But it's just, it's no big deal. So anytime I go to mom and I'm like, I'm frustrated with him for whatever reason, the first question is always, honey, how's the sex life? Swear. How's the sex? And then we can, troubleshoot from there.
I'm
But
trying to think what I could say to my mom for her to ever ask that. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, I don't just. Okay, so I wrote a book.
Back to Claire.
Anyway,
It's this one.
yeah.
Ring or fling.
Ring or fling. I mean, it's on topic. We're talking about dating and everything. And so, so everybody's read it.
It's a guidance Bible.
It's a guidance
dating life.
Bible for the dating life.
Well, you can
All the
also
pillars.
take it
yeah.
into consideration. Like I talked to her about it when I was reading it because I've been married for 15 years. And so a lot of it didn't apply to me. And she said, change your mind frame and make it apply to business or your family. And so that's how I read it.
I think it's an empowerment.
Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking that when I started to read it, because it's Claire's book and I'm going to read it, but I was like, this is not going to have anything to do with me. I've been married for 150 years. So I thought I'm going to wade through it, but whatever. But it really had a lot of, like you said, women's empowerment and just finding yourself and all that stuff. There's a lot to be had in there for
Yeah.
people not on the dating scene.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Favorite things about the book?
Oh, me. Page 56. You all need to
Okay,
you
get it
all
out.
need to read it again. We're not just anything anymore. We are
Oh, yeah.
power women. We are empowered. We're not just moms. We're not just a wedding designer. We're not just an attorney. We're not just Ashley or whatever you said a minute ago. You need to read page 56 again.
I know.
So
the word
That's
just.
the stuff
Just in italics or quotes.
The word just needs to be eliminated from our language completely. It's a minimizer. And it does that. We do that to ourselves and we do that to others. And then our children hear it and repeat it. And so, but we do. If I say I'm just a single mom, and that's where I got that from.
Or I'm just a stay-at-home mom. We
I'm
did that to
just a
stay-at-home
stay.
moms.
Oh, and it's terrible.
And I did that to my own self.
Yeah.
My
and
own-
that shit's hard.
My own ideas about being a stay-at-home mom where I was so mean to my own self.
Just needs to be eliminated from our vocabulary. We aren't just anything. And that's where I got that, because I stood up in a very large coaching class and had had a weekend with the CEO of a coaching division. And they wanted me to share about it and what I'd learned in the lessons. And I stood up and I said, guys, if I'm asked to do this, then who else is going to be asked to do this? Because I'm just a single mom. And the coach called me out and was like, no. And this is where I heard the term for the first time. And he said, no, you're not just anything. You are a power mom. And he gave me that term, and it was like self-defining moment. And I thought, oh my God, he's right. I am. And like I took ownership of it. And it was 3 hours away. So I drove 3 hours just simmering on that the entire time. Got home, feverishly journaled about it. And then that's where everything came from. Because I'm not just one thing does not define me. It doesn't define any of us. So,
I think we could tell when you came back from that with all these, because there were all these ideas and things coming out of her, and it was hard to follow. Do y'all remember that?
She scared me a little bit.
It was hard to, and I think that's why when you said this group, and she was talking about, do we charge a fee? What's this group going to be like? Is it a Facebook group? Is it something else? And we were just kind of like dragging behind the truck, trying to catch up and figure out what's going on and what's going to catch hold here. Right. But you could tell it made an impact on you.
It was.
Because so much stuff was coming out.
And during that season, I wrote the manuscript in 10 months. And it consumed me, like in everything.
It drove you.
It drove everything. And it contributed to so many other ideas and thoughts. And
I think they were always in you, and those limiting beliefs were holding you back.
That's
you
right.
were finally unshackled from them.
That's it.
We've known each other for years, but we only got close after you had that metamorphosis. And so I have trouble imagining Claire without thinking of, how do we get rid of limiting beliefs?
Yeah.
That's what I associate you 100% with. So it's...
Oh, I remember.
Oh, God.
She cried all the time. She'd call and she'd say something and she'd start crying and be like, oh, God, please don't cry. Please don't cry. Let's just talk. Don't cry.
No. Yeah. I mean, I did.
That's understandable.
So different. I used to be so different. I can't, I don't know, because it's fascinating. People that have known me my whole life or years or whatever, and then seeing them, even just after the last 4 years. And it's different, and I can't explain it.
Seeing how you've grown in such a short amount of time, it's been so incredible to see your growth and how you've changed. And I love it.
Thank you.
It's inspiring.
It's so inspiring.
I can't say if it's from the book or if it's from knowing you and being around you, but just that no limits and that think bigger.
Yep. Think bigger mindset.
Think bigger than has been really helpful and inspiring.
And I think it's shown to so many people, like everybody in the group and onward. And that just shows.
It really does.
It does.
And I think you've created the group that you wish you had when you became single, and you've written the book that you wish was available when you became single.
You've manifested it all. Everything that you've...
It's been so clear throughout the entire journey, because everything to me has been extremely organic. But it's been so clear to me that I'm just the vessel, and that I just pour out what's been poured into me. And so the gratitude for that is...
Just the vessel, or just pouring out, being vulnerable.
I think that that's what it is. You've been so vulnerable.
It's not easy.
No, it's not.
But it helps 15,000 women now.
Yes.
And us.
And more.
Yeah.
And more, because, they're proving what they are doing.
Right.
And that, is a triple down effect.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. People have been in your shoes.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to put that
out there.
All of it.
All of it. All the mess.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of mess. I'm a hot mess.
But it's powerful.
Yes, it is. And the thing is that, I think the limiting beliefs that I used to have about myself were fear-based. And so, all of them are. Mm-hmm. It's the what ifs and, all of that. And so moving past that, it's just, there's no longer fear. I no longer am scared of anything. There's really not. There's really no fear. Favorite dating story?
Ooh. Superman. Oh, wait, that wasn't you.
That wasn't me. That's not me. Thank God.
Do you need to share that story, though? Was it a good story?
Your favorite dating story?
That's hard.
I think the person asking for money was a really ridiculous
that one.
I don't know if that wasn't a fun story.
They're not Uggs.
But
they weren't Uggs?
No, but they're similar and they're from Europe. Yeah.
And when you got a trip. That was a good one.
How about that 80-year-old?
She got a trip. She paid for a trip.
What?
Didn't an 80-year-old try to take you out?
Yeah, you got proposed to at a self-help conference a few weeks ago.
I mean,
we
did get proposed.
We were at the conference.
Yes, we were at the conference and he was 85.
85.
Yeah.
He was cute.
He was
He had a break. He had a
He
breakthrough.
didn't see any limitations.
He didn't have limiting beliefs about
Thinking
appropriate
big.
ages.
Taught him to think big.
So does your success with writing a book and all of this intimidate men, and does that play a role in dating?
That's a good question.
It does.
Yeah.
I think it does.
It does, but it also seems to attract a certain breed. Yeah,
How
it
many
does
read the book before your first date?
That's fascinating.
How many
There's
have said that?
only been one.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But from what you've told me, you will start talking to a person, and because of that, they go pick up the book and read it, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm on, such and such a chapter."
That's right.
And then, to your point, I feel like they get a little intimidated by it,
And then
so
they
that
back off.
creates hurdles.
But I thought there were hurdles before the book when the pillars were just in action.
Oh, the
That's
pillars.
true.
Oh, the pillars.
Before there was a book, she just laid it out for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
On the first date.
Claire, what are some of the pillars?
Okay, well, we're going to come
That's
right
a
back.
lot. That's a
Yeah, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about these pillars.
Experience, explore, but most importantly, enjoy. Visit any of our 8 convenient Arkansas locations today. Cupids. Enjoy.
Okay, so let's look at chapter titles because the pillars are in these chapter titles. So, emotions and emojis, which is emotional stability.
What do you mean
I
by
learned-
emotions and emojis?
I learned so much from this chapter about emojis.
And let me tell you, every single time
That was the
she
goal,
talks-
so win.
every single time she talks to a guy, if he sends an emoji, I'll get Becca.
He
sent
sent
me
an
an
emoji.
emoji.
I just can't do
I'm
it.
done.
Do I
Like,
So tell what you think
No.
about
I mean,
emojis.
only an emoji or...
So here's the thing.
You've read the book.
I know, but I know the one guy that was...
So I know,
all
but-
emojis.
You can't understand. Like, the last time I was single, we didn't have cell phones. And so now there's all this stuff, and it's literally modern day hieroglyphics. I cannot stand it.
Now tell us why, though.
It goes back to how we communicate. And so I learned this through sales training. Someone is less likely to say no to you in a face-to-face interaction. And so therefore, someone is also more likely to be vulnerable to you in a face-to-face interaction. Also, you can hear their tone, you can hear their response, their reactions and everything like that, their inflection and their voice on the phone. When they're able to hide behind a screen, they don't have to do anything. And then it takes it even a step further if they don't use the written language. If they use an emoji and a symbol for their emotions or their communication. Well, then in a technology age, what does that reflect? Well, it reflects, how do my children communicate with me? And so if a man starts coming at me and is communicating with me or treating me or anything like that, the way my children are, then why do I want to be in a relationship with a 10-year-old? I'm sorry, I already have 2 children. I don't need to raise another one. I expect a lot more. And my expectation is for you to surpass that. So then the litmus test became, if you ask for my number, if you call me, if you ask to meet me immediately, if you can have a face-to-face conversation with vulnerability and connectivity, and then you follow up even after that, then you have potential. Because you're able to have fierce conversations. Lasting relationships are built and maintain themselves on fierce conversations. Let's get real. I'm not going to get divorced again, right? That's the goal. So in order to prevent that, where must I start?
And so some men heard that. You're sitting here on a first date. In your pasta.
First date.
And this.
I would be intimidated if a dude did that
like
to
you
me.
said, she went through them and was like, go, go, go. You know, it's going to work or not. But
Yeah, and he was like, 2 checks. 2 checks, please. And then you're in chapter 5. No, for real. And so.
Oh, real quick,
Right.
on that note,
Yeah.
Anna, you know how you were asking about, do the guys read the book? I think that some guys are put off by the book because they didn't want to. Am I going to be a chapter?
Oh,
if I date
completely.
you, is
It's
she
like
gonna write
dating
about
Taylor
me?
Swift. She's going to write a song
Right.
about you when you break up.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
No, but I mean, one has read it. I've met him, seen him, been on a date with him. He's asked to see me again, and he piques my interest. I mean, he's intelligent. He keeps the conversation. So it's like when I'm 90, which I plan to be, I'll still be fascinated by him, and that's what's important to me. Find your North Star is the next dating pillar. Well, that goes back to, what are your values? What keeps you humble? What drives you? What's your purpose? What's your mission in life? What's your vision? If you are a man of faith, what is that? I know what all those are for me. And do you align with that with me? And I will say that is my number one pillar for me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I have learned that if your values align with me, everything else aligns. It really does. If I can, because all I want to do truly is build a mission and a vision to change the world with a man. The next dating pillar is the wet factor.
It's necessary.
It is so necessary.
Break that down a little bit.
This
Yeah.
is the one I remember from.
That's the one she remembers.
She did
for
a read
sure.
aloud.
You didn't read aloud.
I did
at
a read
Cinco
aloud.
de Mayo.
Well, I'll also say is the smarter you are, the more intelligent you are, the hotter you are to me.
I agreed.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most
sure.
women feel that way, right?
Yeah. Well, no.
No?
No.
Not most women?
No, I don't think so. I think the smarter you are, the more that means to you. The more intellectual you are, the more intelligence is important to you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I could be very wrong.
But yeah, if you're super stupid, it'd be intimidating.
That's it. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you can't win them all. I'm not saying.
And I don't want to win them all.
Their talents.
Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, what is it for you? It's different for everyone. And that's the
I
thing.
think there's lots of factors that play into that.
There's a lot of factors. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of them? I'm just teasing.
She said,
I mean, Taylor's dating. She knows.
About the wet factor.
well, and you've been able to sustain it with someone too, which is very important, and that's key. So here's the thing. I was married for 14 years. I know what it's like to go through the trenches of marriage. And so what is it going to take for me to still argue with you and be angry as hell at you and still want to crawl across the table and take you? That's the wet factor.
Yeah.
And you have to have it. You have to have it.
We got it.
And you know that.
Becca's parents have it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. The Fockers are kicking
But you
it.
don't know that when you're 20.
No.
Your first marriage. You get that's something you gain and you can benefit from.
Right.
Understanding.
Absolutely.
later.
Totally.
You don't know your own self or what your stuff is.
Right. My next dating pillar is mommy warbucks.
Do tell.
You don't want to pay for people.
And I've talked to so many single women. I've got friends that are very powerful, financially secure, and independent women across the country. And it's fascinating because we've had this conversation. I've had a conversation with them the last couple of weeks about this because money is very fluid. It will come, it will go, and it's kind of like an energy. And no, I don't want to support a man And my expectation is not for a man to support me financially either. Last dating pillar is choose me. No, there's 2 more.
That's not the last one, is
No,
it?
there's 2 more.
Aren't there 9?
No, well, there's self pillars and dating pillars.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So there's choose me. So if you're going to date me, then you prioritize me. You got to choose me. And I don't share you. And you don't share me.
Amen.
Amen.
That's another, like, at this point in life.
It's not about this point in life. It's about any point in life.
Yes, but you don't know that when you know what I'm saying. That's like, now we know better, so we do better.
You'd be shocked at how many
like
polyamorous relationships there are out there, and they do choose to share their spouses. Mm-hmm. And I am not that girl, and I will not share you, and you do not share me, and you choose me, and you prioritize me.
Are you referring to choose you as in, like, when you say you don't share, are you talking about like an open marriage, or are you talking about just everyday life?
Both.
Emotional energy.
Both of it.
Your focus, your time.
I want both. I want all of it. I want your physical presence. I want your emotional presence. I want your intelligent presence. I want all of it.
You're just priority.
I'm priority. I want to be that.
Well, if they're not going to give it to you early in the relationship, they're definitely not going to give it to you later in the relationship.
Right. Last pillar is the single mom pillar with dating from the carpool line.
Which was going to be the name of your book.
It was.
Yes, it was.
It was.
We had fun discussing names of books.
We did, yes. It was the original title. And, when you're in the carpool line, you're just bored, so you just swipe. That's what you do.
And then you delete the app.
Yeah. And then
so you can claim you're not on
done.
it.
No.
Oh, look at Mama stepping out.
But it's just, my children came before you. They will always come before you. And you must respect that. And so that's just the way that is. They are my priority, especially till they leave the house. They are my legacy. They are my number one. They are everything to me.
So, and I agree completely, but it begs the question to me, how do you ask for someone to put you as priority, but yet knowing you're going to put the kids as priority?
Right.
So what if they have their own kids?
Their kids come before me.
Okay.
Their kids come before me. I may come before work. I may come before friends. I may come before yard work. Things of that nature.
Right, and that makes sense. That makes sense.
But both of our children came before a relationship ever was formed or we were ever introduced.
I don't think you'd love or respect a man that didn't put his kids first.
That's it. And
all the other pillars would fall down.
Right, because I've met so many men that have moved across the country and left their children, and I'm like, we are not in alignment. Goodbye. Because if you're going to leave your children, then you will leave me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love y'all.
We love you.
We love you.
Thank you so much for being my girls, for being my tribe, for being my family.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being ours.
I can't. You'll never know.
We're proud of you.
I'm proud to be with you.
We are so proud of you.
Thank you for everything.
Don't cry.
I'm not. I'm not.
And we know your location if you ever decide to ditch us.
That's the other thing. I share my location with all of you.
That's a good tip.
It is. It's great.
Get a
Safety
tribe.
tip.
Get some girlfriends.
Get a tribe. Share your location. Thank you more than you know.
Love you, Claire.
Love you.
We love you.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please rate and review on iTunes. And check out our website, thepowerwomen.org.